It's been a pretty strange year for the DJ tech industry, and the really weird part is it's all because of a thing which didn't actually happen. Welcome to Beatsource Tech. My name is Mojaxx, and in this episode we're going to talk about what's been going on in DJ technology in 2024. Looking back at my 2023 wrap-up video, the big thing on the agenda for 2024 was the potential acquisition of Serato by AlphaTheta, parent company of Pioneer DJ, and now a brand in itself, more on that later. And as those of you who follow industry news will already know, that acquisition was blocked by the New Zealand Competition Commission. The reason for that was all about competition. As the chairman of the commission, Dr. John Small, said, while other DJ software providers would remain in the market, we did not consider these rivals or the possibility of a new DJ software provider entering the market in the near term would be sufficient to replace the level of competition that would be lost with the merger. AlphaTheta and Serato decided not to appeal the decision, which was a bit of a surprise, but that does confirm that yes, 100% the deal is dead. The thing is, despite the deal not going through, it still took until July for that decision to be made, a full year after the acquisition was proposed, which does mean that much of the industry was kind of in limbo for the majority of 2024. Looking at the slate of hardware released for Serato software this year, it's pretty thin on the ground. There's been only one product dedicated to Serato only use, the Rain Performer, which was a project that was basically completed back in 2023. inMusic, the company behind Rain, Denon DJ and Newmark, were the most vocal opponents of the deal, so I wonder how good their relationship with Serato is now. I guess that remains to be seen. Every other piece of Serato hardware from 2024 is also tied to other software too. All the bits from AlphaTheta are also for Rekordbox or standalone focused first. Reloop's one controller release is for Algoriddim's DJ, not Serato at all, and there's been nothing for Serato from Hercules. At one point later in the year, Serato confounded my expectations by announcing support for two Traktor controllers, but that wasn't done in conjunction with Native Instruments, they just did that themselves. How much of this is down to some kind of chilling effect, with companies unsure how things would go if AlphaTheta did own Serato, or just down to the rise of other software platforms in general, I don't know. Maybe it's all just a coincidence. But what I will say is, this story isn't over. Now, I'm no businessman, but if I was Serato and somebody had offered me millions and millions of dollars for my company but that deal was blocked, I'd probably be looking for someone else to give me that money instead. I'm pretty certain that inMusic can't buy it, even if they wanted to. The same kind of competition issues would be in play. So if Serato does get sold, it could be to a company from outside the industry altogether, and who knows how that would play out. So I'm afraid I've got to say the same as last year. For now, watch this space. Keeping it Serato for a minute, it was the 25th anniversary of the company this year, and they celebrated with some limited edition control records, which unlocked a special Scratch Live skin for Serato DJ Pro. I'm using that skin all the time, and I will say this, I think they should unlock that for everyone at some point next year. Let those who bought the special vinyl have it exclusively for a while longer for sure, but then open it up for those who couldn't get them or who don't have turntables. Let me know what you think about that idea in the comments. When it came to their software, well, we're still waiting for the long overdue improvements to their library, but they did finally drop a whole new set of internal effects, which I was delighted to see. I was never a fan of their software effects in Serato DJ Pro previously, and it put me off devices like the Rain 1, which didn't have hardware effects, but the new ones are top quality, fully customizable, and work really well. Also on the subject of effects, they just released Hex Effects, a VST plugin for DAWs, which seems to have got a good response, and it builds on their existing production portfolio with Serato Sample and Studio. Traktor kept things moving this year, which I was happy to see. There wasn't much in the way of new hardware, just the Z1 Mark II, which I liked, but the software saw some big changes. Flexible beat grids are finally a thing, and they have stem analysis, although you do really have to prepare that ahead of time. They also dropped the subscription service for Traktor Pro Plus, moving in the opposite direction to much of the industry. I'm not and have never really been a virtual DJ user, but one of my resolutions for 2025 is to get to know that software better, because they just keep throwing in cool extra features, like the new stem swap sampler. They also support seemingly every piece of new DJ hardware which is released within 5 minutes of launch, which must be applauded, and they were one of the first developers to fully support the new lossless FLAC streaming option for Beatsource and Beatport that we introduced a few months ago. Let me know down below what your favourite features of virtual DJ are, so I can get ready to try them next year. When it comes to Rekordbox, look, I'm going to say a lot of good things about the AlphaTheta devices released in 2024 later in this video. They are killing it with the hardware. But Rekordbox 7 was also released this year, and I'm sorry to say, the more I get to know it, the more I dislike it. The interface has got objectively worse. You can't see your playlist when browsing your whole collection, which is just bizarre, and it was already cluttered with tiny elements in 6, but that's compounded further in 7, especially when you add in new things like the groove circuit. They have improved their stems, but they're still slow and far from class leading in quality. For 2025 and Rekordbox 8, I just think the software needs a complete overhaul. It still works well, but it's not enjoyable to use, and that's a big problem. Next, I'll discuss Algoriddim's DJ, and that clearly is enjoyable to use, if only judging by the number of my friends who have partially or completely switched over to using it this year. Their big strength is in how well the software works on iOS, not just computers. I'm seeing a lot more DJs using iPads in the wild these days. Myself, I'm still not quite ready to change over, and that's based on the hardware I use. There is no screen display on the DJM S11, which is the mixer I carry, or on the XDJ RX3 or XZ, which are the all-in-ones I encounter the most at gigs. And whilst the screen is by no means essential for DJing, it still feels like a compromise. They haven't added a whole lot of new features into their software this year. They did a huge update at the end of 2023, but they did add Apple Music support, and whilst obviously Beatsource is my platform of choice, I'm always happy to see more normalization of streaming in DJ software generally. It's better for the whole market. Where Algoriddim really did innovate this year was with the announcement of DJ for Meta's Quest virtual reality headsets. I went out to Germany for an early look and I was hugely impressed. It's not the first time we've seen DJing in VR, but the key for me was the ability to connect up real DJ hardware via USB and perform in mixed reality. That's never been done before. Plenty of folks mocked all this, but as I said in my video about it, okay, the headsets are big and bulky right now, but in 5 years' time when the tech is integrated into something that looks like a normal pair of glasses, well, that could be when it becomes a true game changer. As of right now though, it's not expensive and it's a lot of fun to use, so if Santa leaves a Quest under your tree this Christmas, you should definitely give DJ a try. As I did in my Black Friday deals episode, I will just quickly tip my hat to DJ Studio. I feel like I should because they're doing something very different in the DJ software space. It's just like a DAW but exclusively for DJ sets, and some of their features and ideas are very exciting. I promise I will get around to giving that some coverage in 2025. The inMusic brands had a very quiet year. I feel like they were the company most held in limbo by the decision about AlphaTheta and Serato. We saw one Denon DJ product, the Prime Go Plus, or as I called it in my review, the Prime Go Again. It may be based on an old design at this point, but it does still rock, and it now supports Amazon streaming as well as stems. That was the big headline update from the Engine OS team this year. After promising real-time stems for the Prime 4 Plus, they've settled on a solution, at least for now, where you pre-analyze stems in the Engine software and export them to your drives instead. Whilst this is by no means preferable to real-time analysis, it does have one big advantage. It doesn't take a lot of juice to use them, so for $10 you can now have the same stems on any piece of Engine hardware, from the cheapest Newmark Mixstream to the oldest Denon DJ SC5000. The quality is good, if not the very best out there, and for the price it's a no-brainer to unlock it for all Engine users. One other inMusic product to mention, the Rain Performer. They messed up the launch, they deliberately leaked it at the Super Bowl, then it wasn't available for months, but putting that aside, it is simply an epic piece of hardware, and it has become my go-to for corporate or private gigs since it was released. Coming back to Algoriddim's DJ, one of the most interesting products of the year was released for that and that alone, the Reloop Mixtour Pro. That was designed in collaboration with Laidback Luke, and it absolutely reflects what he wanted it to do. His input went far beyond simply a put his logo on it situation. What that means in practice is that it won't suit everyone, but it is a very powerful device considering its size, and whilst I do wish it was a touch more affordable, it will be a great choice for DJ users who really want to travel light and play off an iPad or, like Luke, their phone. Before we get into the behemoth that is AlphaTheta, let's talk about some of the smaller guys. The rotary and boutique mixer scene has been in rude health this year on the whole. Master Sounds decided to exit the mixer market, but their place has immediately been taken up by Union Audio, run by Andy Rigby-Jones, who designed and built the Master Sounds range anyway. They now have a full suite of rotaries at numerous price points, and have even gone into the fader mixer market with the Alara 4, which I really liked, and now the Alara 6, which is going squarely after zone users. Review on that one will be coming next next year. Speaking of zones, Allen and Heath recently dropped the 92 Mark II, which is a refinement of the now classic model designed originally by Andy Rigby Jones. Hopefully I'll get that at the same time as the Elara for some head-to-head action. We got new affordable rotaries from Headliner and Omnitronic, which I tested and liked, and there were a number of new boutique offerings from other manufacturers, including these two which I will be reviewing in January, from Wax Electronics in France and the Tomcut 2 from Italy. Spoiler alert, they're both really good in very different ways. I'll also shout out the Manura MDMX, a unique modular mixer which shipped this year. It was crowdfunded, which had me a bit worried after a bad experience on Kickstarter myself, but they delivered exactly what was promised and in many ways even more. And so we come to AlphaTheta / Pioneer DJ, and well, first of all I have some thoughts on that name thing. People were not happy when they revealed their AlphaTheta brand in January, and there was confusion about whether the name Pioneer DJ was staying or going away. Well, here we are almost a year later, and I'm more confused today. They keep telling me there will be new Pioneer DJ branded products, but if the XDJ AZ wasn't, then I just can't think what would be. As I said in my review of that, I think they should just drop Pioneer DJ moving forward, make everything AlphaTheta from now on, because if nothing else, I'm sick of saying AlphaTheta / Pioneer DJ. As for their products though, let's go in order of release. The Omnis Duo got caught up in the name thing and did not get a fair shake, I believe. It's a good product, basically a Prime Go but for Rekordbox. It is more expensive and not as feature packed, but it works very well, and if you're a Rekordbox standalone user, it is the portable battery powered option you have. It also gained Beatport and Tidal streaming in the past month or so, as did the Opus Quad, which is a nice upgrade, although I'd still like to see more options there like, Beatsource. Then we got the company's big surprise of the year, the Euphonia Rotary Mixer. Watch my review for my full take on it, but in summary, it's a very good product indeed, with great sound quality, some unique features, and it has the advantage of being from the biggest brand in the world, so it will be easy to source from rental houses all over the globe, ideal for touring DJs. And it does seem to have got a decent reception from the more open-minded members of the Rotary community too. We'll go slightly out of sequence now. They released the XDJ F10 wireless headphones, then a couple of weeks later the XDJ AZ to go with them. That has a receiver for the headphones built right in. The headphones are really good and the low latency wireless tech works very well. If I wasn't an in-ear monitor user, I would have probably bought a pair. I'm definitely seeing wireless being one of the big trends in 2025 in lots of areas, not just headphones. I should have the TMA2 DJ wireless headphones from III in for review quite soon, so I'm interested in how they'll compare. As for the XDJ AZ itself, 4 years on from the XZ, AlphaTheta basically delivered everything I wanted from its successor. More power, streaming services, although still no Beatsource, great jog wheels, wide connectivity, and compatibility with Serato DJ Pro and Rekordbox for laptop users. With CDJs costing so much these days, Rekordbox all-in-ones are the devices I come across at venues more than anything else, and if I was to rock up at a gig and they had an AZ, I'd be a very happy boy. The launch wasn't entirely smooth, there seemed to be some kind of hardware or firmware issue with an early batch of units, but that appears to be resolved now and they're finally getting into people's hands. The final two AlphaTheta products were the DDJ Groove 6 and the DDJ Flex 2. I was never much of a fan of the Flex 6 models, which the Groove 6 superseded, but thankfully it got rid of all the issues I had with those, and it's a great mid-range controller choice. And the Flex 2, in a year when we didn't actually get much in the way of real budget beginner controllers from other brands, is kind of a standout product in 2024. It costs just $180 in the US, supports computers, phones and tablets, runs Serato, Rekordbox and DJ natively, and crucially feels great to use. So what is my product of the year? Well, the XDJ AZ, the Euphonia and the Rain Performer were all in the running for that crown, but the winner is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I know, curveball, right? Well, here's the thing. One of the big conclusions I've come to about DJing this year is that, more than ever before, success really isn't just about your skills, your selections, or your taste in music. It's about creating engaging content in order to build a fan base. Before you kick off in the comments, yes, I also hate that. I wish with all my heart that it wasn't the case. But it is. That's not to say that the cream doesn't still usually rise to the top. It doesn't matter how good your social media game is if you can't back that up with actual talent when needed. But in 2024 and beyond, if you can't reach audiences where they already are, social media, live streaming, YouTube, then you just won't be in the conversation to begin with. So back to the Osmo Pocket 3. It came out at the end of 2023, so I'm very late to the party. I just got mine literally a week ago. Other DJs on YouTube like Jason Janai and Joe Bunn have been singing its praises for months, but it was Steve from the DJ Lab channel who finally pushed me over the edge into picking one up. Towards the start of the year, I was already thinking about this content stuff and I bought a 360 camera. 9 months on and I still don't really like it. The editing process is fiddly and it's not good in low light, you know, where most DJing happens. I am learning how to use it better, but I'm just not really a fan. The Pocket 3 though has a 1-inch sensor and it absolutely rocks in low light. It has a specific low light mode, but I think the regular video mode gives better results for DJing. I won't go into too much detail on its functions, there are 1,000 reviews and guides on YouTube, but in summary it's a camera with a built-in gimbal for smooth shots, it has active tracking, shoots 4K in up to 120 frames a second for buttery slow motion, and it seamlessly switches to 3K vertical mode for TikTok, Reels and Shorts. It works as a webcam and you can even live stream directly from it. I'd recommend you get the combo package, which comes with an extra battery handle and a DJI Mic 2 transmitter for clean mic audio. There's one thing that really made it my product of the year though. I've only seen this mentioned in one other place by a YouTuber called FC The Truth, not by any other DJs. It works perfectly with both the iRig Stream and the iRig Stream Pro from IK Multimedia. You plug in one of the iRigs to the USB on the Pocket 3, connect up RCAs from a line output on your mixer or controller, and bam! Clean, direct audio baked right into the video. You can even have the Osmo record a separate audio file from the camera's own mics simultaneously to mix in some crowd noise in post. That setup is just the perfect tool for capturing video from your performances, and it's incredibly portable. Discovering all that is what tipped me over into buying one, and although I'll go into more depth on it in a full episode later, I thought I would mention it now just in case you can find the Pocket 3 or one of the iRigs on sale in January. And so yeah, that's also a pointer towards where I think we'll be going with this series in 2025. Rather than reviewing every single piece of DJ hardware I can get my hands on, we're going to switch things up and start talking a lot more about ways you can level up your content game. I'm still learning myself, I only just started using TikTok this month, but I'll take you on that journey with me and I'll be talking to those who have mastered social media and content creation to get insights from them. Because although it might be getting banned in the US soon, there's a huge community of DJs doing great things on TikTok. The Twitch DJ program means that DJs are regularly getting front page slots and doing incredible numbers, and I just feel that most of us, myself included, need to be getting our content and socials game up next year. Let me know what kinds of topics in those areas you'd like to see me cover down in the comments. So there you go, a look back at the world of DJ tech in 2024 and some of my thoughts on what's to come in 2025. In the comments, let me know your take on what we have seen this year and what kind of new gear you'd love to see in the next 12 months. Thank you for watching this episode of Beatsource Tech and for tuning in all year. If you do get some value or enjoyment out of these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, please click on that button today. It really does help myself and the channel out. On behalf of everyone at Beatsource and DJcity, I'd like to wish you a happy holidays and a healthy and prosperous 2025. I'll see you next year!